Now then, welcome back to another episode on the Hypermine server. Doing the Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved mod pack. And today I'm wearing googly eyes. Google eyes, Google eyes. I don't know why. That's just the first ones that came to mind when I picked out today. Today I'm planning on having a go at starting Applied Energistics 2. Now I've been saving up for this. I've been saving for the fact that I'm going to be doing Applied Energistics 2 and IC2 during this series, and I've been planning out where things are going to go and all that kind of stuff. And I think this is going to be my main sort of like power level. So there's power there, and I'm going to have a few other power sources and bits and pieces and things going on around here. There's going to be power, and also the main Applied Energistics controllers and things I think will go here. I don't know how long I want to keep this my base though, but I do need an Applied Energistics system down here. Just recently I've added this little IC2 setup, which is similar to one that I have over at the mining operation. I've got an electric furnace over here, which is taking some of the wood. The wood actually comes in from the tree farm over there and has a choice of two ways. It either goes up to stores or into this barrel here. And then from the barrel it comes down into the furnace and is turned into charcoal. The charcoal is then extracted, put into the barrel, and goes into these two generators. And these two generators are generating EU, which is being put back into the bat box. I found that this was important because my electric jetpack keeps running out. And from down here there's no easy stairwell up. From down here I've got a little hole in the corner that I've got to fly up. And when I run out of jetpack I have to break blocks and stack my way out. So that's why that's down here. But we're going to start with some Applied Energistics. So I want to get myself set up with the Applied Energistics tab, just to remind me where all the things are, because it's been a little while since I've done this. I love Applied Energistics. I really love Applied Energistics, and I've been playing around with Applied Energistics 2 for a while now. Let's see. Charged Certis Quartz. Okay, so there's two types of Certis Quartz we get from mining. And I've received quite a bit so far. I've got some more in here. No, I've got some more back at base then. Okay. I've brought most of it over already. From the base that I've got, the Meteor, I managed to get these two Inscriber presses and Inscriber Engineering Press and Inscriber Silicon Press. We'll get to those in a bit. I've also got some Sky Stone, which is also useful. And from my quarrying and mining operations, I managed to get all this Certis Quartz. But only 14 charged Certis Quartz. Charging Certis Quartz you can get from a few different ways. It can be found in the world, semi-rare and similar to Certis Quartz, except it sparkles. Yeah. You can use a sag mill and get charged Certis Quartz as you're creating it, as it were, digging it out. And that's about it as far as this is concerned. There is another method, which in Applied Energistics is this charger. And this charger will charge normal crystals into charged crystals, as the name implies, and it just requires a bit of power. But you do need to get either a pure or a flux crystal. A pure flux or a flux crystal to start off with, and that is required. You drop a charged Certis Quartz and one nether quartz and a redstone dust into a puddle next to one another and wait a few moments to receive two flux crystals. Okay? So you need to find at least one charged Certis Quartz or create your first charged Certis Quartz, get a nether quartz, and you're bound to have redstone dust by now, just to get the first two crystals to make the charger to charge future crystals to be able to repeat the process over and over again. And these things have a lot of uses, including this growing your own. You can drop a flux seed made from flux dust and sand into a puddle of water to make the process grow faster, crystal accelerators. So let's just check this out. This is the flux seed, and the flux seed is made up from sand and flux dust, giving you 2 seeds per dust, and 1 flux crystal in a macerator or a pulverizer or a sag mill or a rock crusher or a grindstone will give you 1 flux dust. So that 1 flux dust with sand can turn into 2 seeds, which will then grow 2 of the pure flux crystals, which can be used as flux dust. So it's worthwhile having this because you kind of double up with sand what you're getting. So there's one thing that I want to try and achieve this episode. And the first thing I've got to do is go and get some nether quartz to add to that charged Certis quartz. So I'm going to nip off to the nether and go and grab some because I haven't really got any yet. We do have a nether portal in town, so it's not that difficult for me to start thinking about getting some. But I haven't been there to get any yet, so therefore I'm about to go now. I'll be back when I've done that. Alrighty, so nether quartz and all the other ores in the nether seem to be, making the pigmen angry. Now I know that mod, it's in many packs to make things more difficult in the nether, but there is a way around it. Don't break it yourself, because then the pigmen get angry. At least they're not exploding. That's a different mod that makes nether ores explode. These nether ores just make the pigmen angry and make them aggroed at you, which is a bit of a pain in the butt, really. But I can tunnel with a turtle, and the turtle can do the digging for me, which doesn't upset the pigmen or the denizens of the nether. Pigmen in particular. But that does mean that it's making it a lot harder for me to get this nether quartz. I've got 24, and I somehow managed to get some saltpeter. It's nether ores, I think it is, that actually makes the pigmen angry at you. But I've got enough to get started on AE, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get off back to base and just play around with what I've got and come back with turtles and excavate an area later on. Palatine's looking at the mess. Yeah, nitro creepers. Creepers, yes. Well, he showed me something. What's this? A community wither head getter. Ah, yeah. Yeah, cool. Heads for days. This is the little thing down here where we're collecting our wither heads. 24 wither heads. Nice. Nice. Alright, well, let's get back on with the episode, shall we? Okay, so after a little while in the nether, not very long at all, I also had a server restart and things happen while I was there. Now I've got what I need to get started anyway. At least that's something. What I need to get started. I'm going to do... Let's do 10 for starters, okay? Just to show how it's done. And I've got 14, so that just gives me opportunity to make some more in a bit. Okay, so you throw redstone in. You actually only need to throw them one at a time, so we'll do them one at a time. Okay, and then it has a little crackle, and then it comes back to you as fluxed crystals. But you can just throw them all in at the same time. So I'm just going to throw all of those in, and I'll get 10 back, I should think, overall. And pick the rest up. Thank you. And there we go. So I've got 20 out of those few that I did there, which is excellent. Awesomes. And that is there, and that is there. There we go. Keep all these separate things separate. And we'll keep 2 of those. I will make myself a little... I didn't make myself a crafting table. Oh, man, already got through all of that wood. Beast. Well, I was gone just for a little while, so that means I've got to go upstairs to get the wood to craft this thing. But I do need it up here, I suppose, because of the power supply. So, yeah, I'll mess with the where and the hows and things are going and all that during the episode. But for right now, I'll just do what I can. So we needed a bit of iron, so I'll throw a bit of iron in here. And... we were, I think it was down the sides here, there, and these 2 crystals there. Maybe not then. Okay, what did I miss? Iron. Ah, 1 gap there. There we go. So now we get a charger. And now with the charger, I placed that next to a redstone flux source. This is not its final location, obviously. And it doesn't seem to do anything. But... I understand, because I've done this before. You take another bit of crystal. Wow, running backwards and forwards. Let's go and get these. In fact, let's take those, and those. And if I need any more, I can come down for them. I'll show you the little seed techniques and stuff like that a bit later on. And there are some funky machines that we can come up with as well to do that. So charged Certis Quartz 4, right? I've got to put Certis Quartz in there, and it will crackle about a bit when it's ready to ping out again. And that creates more charged Certis Quartz. And as you'll see in many recipes, charged Certis Quartz is awfully important. Did that already charge? Or am I... Yeah, I'm messing with it too soon. Too soon? Anybody? Oh, there's another reason. There we go. I derped. I think there's a... It's got to... Power's got to go in underside or over the top. And where did I put my other leadstone cells? Leadstone. Wherefore art thou, leadstone? It's in here. Why didn't you tell me that when I was looking at it a minute ago? There we go. So let's bring this out one more and place this on the top of it so that the power's going in underside. I don't think you can supply power to any of the side. It's got to be top or bottom. It looks like that though, doesn't it? I just forgot. So then we pop that in there, and it is using some, and there should be like a sign for when it's done. Yeah, there we go. So that's charged that fairly quickly. So it charges it fairly quickly. You can see the change. It changes colour. So we can charge them up. And again. There we go. Alright, so now I've got a way to charge Certis Quartz. And that's required for a lot of recipes as well. But just remember that you've got to power it from the top or the bottom. That's one thing I just forgot. So next up, to make an applied energistic system, we need power. The crystal growth thing, I can deal with that in a bit later on, but this crystal growth system is required later on. All of these things need making and all that kind of stuff for it. It's not too big a deal, but it's still a bit of a pain. I think in this version of applied energistics, which is AE2, you can set up just like a basic chest as its own network. So we've got a few bits and pieces here that we're going to make this ME chest. We will then also need to make a disc to put in the chest. And the discs are there. A 1K disc. So let's work on the 1K disc first of all. The quartz glass is Certis Quartz ground down, and glass makes quartz glass. And it's a crafting recipe rather than anything else. So we'll grind down a bit of this while I'm at it. Oh yeah, another thing. I got left comments in the last episode telling me that cinnabar and sand and stuff help make the chance of getting profit from ferrous ore 100%. So thank you very much to the guys that told me all about that. Let's just give that a quick go. Should be in the induction smelter. We should be putting that in somewhere. Is it in there? And the ore there, and that should furnace up to give me 100% chance of getting that shiny. Yeah, I get a full shiny ingot from that, and 3 ferrous ingots, which is awesome, and also fits nicely with what I've got lined up in that chest over there. Let's put those away. In this crafting table. In here, look, I've got 3 tesseract frames already made. I made enough enderium ingots for 3. So I'm going to take all 3 of those out now. And because we've just done that with a cinnabar, that's giving me 1 more shiny ingot, which I can pulverize down to make some more stuff later on. But we may as well have this working while I'm doing applied energistics. These tesseract frames empty need filling up with resonant ender. It takes 1,000 resonant ender per frame, and it takes a little while to do. So while that's all working, we'll try and do a little bit more AE. So we've got that. There we go. Perfect. And do we have some glass here? We've got some hardened glass. I've got some clear glass from Tinkers. I've got a little bit of glass there. Okay. And the cell was that. There we go. That gives us 8 of those. I think I need to dump some of this stuff as well. Let's dump some of this nether stuff that I'm never gonna use during this episode. May use it in a future episode, but not during this episode. Let's junk some of that away. There we go. Alright. So I had to pulverize 32 gold ore in order to get that one cinnabar to make that one recipe work. So it's quite effective, but at the same time, it's another way of getting that shiny ore to make the tesseracts, which is a good thing. All three of them are now done. That's awesome. Okay, and I'll put those away. I do need to make those into full tesseracts, which is basically a bit of bronze and a bit of silver around the edges to set up the tesseract, to make an actual tesseract. Okay, so I'll do those later and set those up around the place, but I still want to focus on getting the applied energistics sorted out today. So what was the next on this list? This is an MK storage process. This is the first time we need a processor. And to get a processor, we need an inscriber. That needs a printed logic circuit, redstone, and a printed silicon. Now, I don't think I've got the logic. I've got the inscriber, the silicon, and the engineering press. So I can't even store anything in an AE system until I've got this logic processor, which means I need a logic press. I've got the silicon press, but I need a logic press. There's the silicon press there. I need the logic press. So I'm not going to be able to make a disc until I've got those. And I know Lone Wolf has managed to get all of them so far. And there is a copying mechanism in order. Like a block of iron can copy one in an inscribing press. So I may ask him to give me a copy or just go running around exploring. But that means that storage cell's out of the question right now. That means that the chest that uses the storage cell is out of the question, and the drive that uses it is out of the question. But it doesn't mean we've got nothing that we can do. Nothing we can do in applied energistics at this time. We can also have a go with a storage bus, which is down here somewhere. Storage bus. Export bus, import bus, interface, and storage bus. Storage bus is a piston, a sticky piston, and an interface. An interface is a formation core and annihilation core. The annihilation... Oh, okay. Maybe I can't make that either. So I do need to find all the presses before I can do anything. Dang it. Okay, well, let's go and put this stuff away. I've got some sand here, actually. I can show you this crystal growing process. There's some Certis quartz seeds. You can put those down into the water, and they will slowly but surely grow into 2 Certis quartz. So I've used 1 Certis quartz dust, and I'm going to grow them very slowly. Very, very slowly indeed. I'm going to need to get those other bits, though, first, before I can do any more of the applied energistics. I need to get the other inscribers presses, either from meteorites or from people who have already explored. Now, as Lone Wolf is on right now, I might be able to take him at a few iron and get a copy made. So I'll see about doing that very quickly right now. Okay, so Lone Wolf was good enough to get me the inscriber presses that I was missing. So now we've got all the inscriber presses. We should be able to do all the things. There's only one small detail, and that's the silicon, but we'll get to that in a bit. We'll get to the silicon in a bit. Let's get past this stage first. Silicon's another stage completely. I need 2 sticky pistons, a flux crystal, and some iron for this one. So I think I've got some pistons around somewhere. Well, there's some slime balls, and it just so happens to be 2 pistons ready made. Isn't that wonderful? And they're the iron blocks, but he didn't actually want the iron blocks from me because he's got an iron farm. So he gave them to me out of the goodness of his heart, and having far too many resources for it to really matter to him whatsoever. Okay, inscriber press, that. There we go. So simple enough, done. And this now needs some power. I think I can power this from the back. I'm pretty sure I can power this from the back. Yep. This has got a pretty cool interface as well. But I do need the silicon for this. So let's have a look at the silicon in here. I know there's a couple of types of silicon. And normally I have to use a sag mill. But I want to check to make sure there's not another way before I go and build a sag mill to be able to make it. There was a way to make it using sand originally. That's flour. Applied Energistics now has flour. What? When did it start doing foodstuffs in it? I don't know. I haven't seen that. I've not said that I've really been bothered making it. Maybe the flour comes from grinding wheat. Yeah, that's probably it. Okay, give me the quartz stuff. It's nether quartz dust. No. Silicon then. Let me just type silicon in. Silicon. There we go. Silicon press needs a silicon, which is a pulverized sand into silicon. Okay, so there is another method. Making a whole sag mill to get this chance of. I could do. I could do it. Doing sand in a sag mill makes silicon. And in some mod packs I've played before, that's the only way to get it, because this is disabled or something. Right, but now we have got some sand somewhere around here. Server's having a backup. Expect some lag. Let's get 10 to start off with. I know I'm going to need tons, and I'll set up something within the thermal expansion to make a ton, because cobblestone in a pulverizer makes sand, and then sand in a pulverizer makes silicon, and you can make a cobblestone generator. So I can make infinite silicon, really. But as you can see, this is silicon from Ender.io, not silicon from AE2. So there's no actual silicon in Applied Energistics 2, even though it requires silicon to do it. And that's the Inscriber silicon press. Surprise, surprise. So what we do is we can put the Inscriber silicon press in the top, put the silicon in there, and it's got power, so now it will press that. And it also has a really funky looking little thing. Really funky looking thing. Very descriptive. A really funky looking animation to it as well. So check this out. It actually presses and makes the thing. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. The only problem with this that I found is you can't put multiples in. You can only put one in at a time, which is dang annoying. And it means that automation has to be a little bit more complicated. But still, we've made 3 of these. These are basically the part that you need for almost every single press. I'm also going to need gold. So let's get a couple of gold ones, because I'm pretty sure we needed that. So the gold goes in there. Again, I can't stack it. But now I want a logic press. There we go. Stick the logic press in. And the logic press will make a gold logic circuit, right? And then I can put the circuit and a silicon with a piece of redstone in the middle there, and that will kind of combine them all together into the actual circuit. So it's all done in this inscriber, and it's all fairly straightforward and simple, but there's a lot goes into it. That chest was... Oh, I was going for the disk first, wasn't I? 1K storage drive. There we go. So now I should be able to make this, which is the center for that storage drive. Okay, so that's good. And I should be able to make the disk drive soon enough as well. So let's try this. Yep, there we go. That's one of those. And then try this. There we go. There's my 1K storage drive, which is perfectly awesome. Now I need a chest to put it in, and I think that chest will work with just power. But there's a few other bits and pieces I need to do first. These annihilation cores need logic presses, and these formation cores need logic presses, and these... yeah, that's about it, isn't it? And the actual thing itself needs a logic processor. So I need 3 logic processors there, and also this illumination panel. I could potentially make that out of stuff now. Just got a few bits of crafting to do to craft all of these components together to make the ME chest. So I'll be right back once I've done that. Fortunately, I've got some glowstone, which I'm pleased about. So we'll soon have this whipped up in no time. Okay then, so I've now got the ME chest all sorted out. It's got all the stuff that I've been using or just had in my inventory to hand. It'll take anything and everything you've got, and it will store it in many different methods of sorting. You can sort it by name, so anything with alphabetical order you can find stuff. You can sort it by number of items, so you can have the most items that you need up at the top, and the least is the scraps of things that you don't use very often down below. Or you could have it sorted by mod. So in this case, Thermal Expansion comes first, and then Project Red, and so on. And then Applied Energistics 2 comes in after that. So you can kind of see all of the relevant materials close by. So if I'm working on AE, I could scroll to the AE2 section of my network and find all the things that are AE. Then you've got your inventory tweaks, which I don't really understand what this one is, but I'm guessing that it's kind of the NEI numbers. I'm guessing the NEI number type thing. And then you've got back to item name. I normally sort mine out in number of items because it's simple and it's fairly efficient and easy to get things. But then this isn't a very advanced system right now. This is just a very, very basic startup system. A startup system that I will be growing over the course of time. Now I've shown you some of the basics. I do want to do another couple of bits and pieces, but I'm going to have to start doing these things off camera now, and see you in the next episode of Hypermine Infinity Evolved. I just want to add those two together and make some seeds. Yep, there we go. And put those in the water as well and let them grow up. These things don't despawn, so we can leave these while I log off the server and go away. Hopefully. Let's put those in there. And if not, well, I've only lost a bit of sand and stuff. And they will slowly but surely grow in there. And that is all I've got time for this episode. So, Googly Eyes says thank you very, very much for watching. I hope that my entertainment has been with me today, and I hope you've enjoyed the show. Thank you very, very much. Don't forget to check out my supporters club down in the right-hand corner of this outro. There will be an extended version of this episode going up on there almost straight away at the same time as this. There is also a 14-day free trial, so if you want to have a look at the 14-day free trial, please be my guest. And if you want more information about why I'm doing all of that supporters club stuff, then check out my vanilla episode that is linked in the top right-hand corner. Until next episode, though, folks, thank you very, very much for watching another episode of Hypermine Infinity Evolved. I'll see you next time.